Mike McCain didn't have time to change, so he wore his Air Force blue uniform. Joseph wore his Italian coat. He was dressed to kill. And David, of course, had his cap on, his leather cap, and he was dressed immaculately.
I had some anxiety, and my anxiety was the unknown. I really didn't know what was going to happen. I just assumed that we'd be plugged on the head or we'd be thrown in jail. But I tell you, the one thing that I was certain of is that we weren't coming back. From the time we left the library until we reached downtown, we were rather somber, silent. I think we're all reflecting on what we were about to do and trying to step ahead of time and project what's going to happen.
It was like, this was showdown. We were like the Four Musketeers. We're going to our destiny.
When we walked into the store, we wanted to prove that we were customers. I bought a notebook and made sure to get receipts. We mulled around in the store, just trying to get some fix on where we were and what we were about to do.
I was trying to breathe slow and heavy so my anxiety would not get too high on me. I felt my temperature increase. I could feel my collar, sweat coming off the side of my face.
I didn't have to always ask Joe what he was thinking. We looked at each other, and both of us looked at the counter at the same time. And we just started to walk towards the counter. I mean, without a single word. That's how it happened. And we took our seats. Almost instantaneously, after sitting down on a simple, dumb stool, I felt so relieved. I felt so clean. And I felt as though I had gained a little bit of my manhood by that simple act. And Joe and I looked at each other without saying a word, absolutely not a word. And it was about maybe some 40 seconds, a minute later, it seemed like a lifetime, that the people behind the counter acknowledged that we were sitting.
And the waitress approached us. What do you boys want? We said, we like to be served, please. Now, you boys know we don't serve colored people here. Why don't y'all get up? And she pointed her finger to the lunch counter, the stand-up lunch counter over there.
Of course, we said, we beg to disagree with you. You do serve us here, and we can prove it. We got receipts to prove that. And we bought all these things here. And we just want to be served here.
I'm trying to keep myself composed. Meanwhile, I feel my legs shaking. And out came this Negro lady, this colored lady. And she looked at us, she says, "What do you boys want?" "We like to be served, please." She said, "I'm gonna say this to you. You all need to leave here right now and go back to that campus, because you'll start in trouble. You know, it's people like you that make our race look bad. You got that?"
What do you have planned for this film in the future?
Well, I'm proud to announce that February 1 has actually been nominated for a regional Emmy. And we're going to go down to Atlanta on June 18th and go to the award ceremony, so I'm hoping we win. Besides that, my hope is that, to go around to schools with the film, to continue to get it out there to younger generations. The great thing about making a historical documentary is it never gets dated because it already happened in the past, and it's something you can revisit every year if you wanted to, and I really hope that that's what happens, that you know, as January with Martin Luther King Day rolls around and February, which is Black History Month, as these times roll around each year, I'm hoping that I'll find new audiences and new people that are interested in seeing the film. And I'd be happy, you know, I love going and talking to people about it because I think that race is such an important issue in this country that gets forgotten about. And the thing that I hope with my film is that it will open conversations and dialogues with people about this very uncomfortable topic in a comfortable setting.
What advice do you give to upcoming filmmakers?
My advice to upcoming filmmakers is if you find something that you really want to do, tell a story about, then just do it. Find a way. But it's going to take a lot of heart and a lot of patience because it's a much broader sort of process than you would think. I mean, February 1 took me 5 years, you know, me and a group of folks over 5 years to make. So it's not like it's a quick process. So you have to be in it for the long haul, and the raising the money and all of this is a very stressful and yucky part of the process. But if you believe strongly enough in your topic, if you feel that you need to get it out there, then just go for it, you know. And there's lots of different ways to sort of get it out there. There's so many film festivals now, and a lot of them are affordable that you can, you know, submit to and then get your film shown. I mean, we submitted to a bunch of film festivals, and, you know, so I got to go to like Tennessee, to Nashville, to Memphis. I got to go to Florida for the Global Peace Film Festival. You know, so I got to go around to all these great places and show the film and have discussions with audiences and all that, and it's just a great way to get your message out there.
Could you name some of your favorite films?
Well, it depends on the day, I guess, what some of my favorite films are. I would say in terms of just regular Hollywood films, probably my favorite film is The Godfather. I think it's a brilliant masterpiece. Some of my favorite documentaries that I've seen are this movie called Control Room and this other great documentary called The Fog of War. They're just, especially Fog of War, unbelievably, was one guy basically talking the whole time, but it was so interesting and so fascinating. So I love seeing what people can do with documentaries nowadays because, I mean, let's face it, in the past, documentaries were pretty boring, you know, pretty straightforward. People would hear documentaries and they were like, ugh. But then, you know, you had stuff with like Michael Moore and other people that were making interesting docs. It was, has really opened up the documentary world to a bigger audience, which is great.
What about the movie Fahrenheit 9/11?
Oh, well, Michael Moore is one of my personal heroes. So Fahrenheit 9/11 had a huge impact on me, and I have to say, a couple years back at the documentary film festival that's in Durham, called Full Frame Documentary Film Festival, I got to meet Mr. Moore. And I gave him a copy of February 1, and I actually got to talk to him, which was one of the personal highlights. In fact, my wallpaper on my computer is the picture of me and Michael Moore. What I love about his documentaries is he uses a lot of humor because he understands that comedy is a really good way to make a point. You know, so he's just done amazing things for documentaries. He's opened it up to audiences beyond anything anyone could possibly imagine. I mean, Fahrenheit 9/11 brought in $120 million. I mean, the film that came in second was his other film, Bowling for Columbine, which made way less money. But I mean, it broke all possible documentary records. I mean, there's no way that any other film is going to even come close to it in terms of a documentary making that much money. So he definitely, I mean, his influence is amazing on what he's done for documentaries. So Fahrenheit 9/11, I think, is an amazing film and should be seen by everybody.
How do you like Omateka TV so far?
I love it. I absolutely love it. Everyone is so nice and friendly and really seems to know what they're doing. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Rebecca, for being on Omateka TV
Thank you.
spending some time with us and giving us the background on February 1. It was a great movie. I looked at it, and I didn't finish it, but I looked at it, and we took notes, and we said, why not interview her?
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're so interested in my film that you felt you wanted to interview me.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching Omateka TV. Tune in next week to see who we'll have on the show and what we'll be talking about. Good night.